This is the GV Podcast, a variety review podcast featuring two of the three idiots giving their thoughts on cartoons and anime. This is an opinion-based podcast, and there's no way we're saying our thoughts and opinions are objective. Keep this in mind and enjoy the show.
The One Piece! The One Piece is real!
Can we get much higher?
And with that, everybody, hello everybody, my name's Mayhem.
I'm Jinsu.
I'm Duke.
And today we're talking about the Summit War arc of One Piece.
And to open today's podcast, our spoiler thoughts are... No, I'm just kidding.
My direct spoiler for anybody who wanted to hear us talk non-spoilers before direct spoilers, get out of here.
Because this shit is wild.
This shit is the culmination of 500 episodes.
We are talking about around episode 500 of One Piece.
Well,
Jesus Christ.
Well, technically, with the list that you gave me, it starts with 459.
459 all the way to 516.
516, yes.
So, yeah, we're finally at the crossroads section of One Piece.
What do you mean a crossroads? This is war!
Yeah, fair enough, yeah.
It's like it's like that video of the Marine picking up the cat and he goes, "Nyah!" and he drafted. That's exactly what happens to Luffy in this.
That's what Akainu did in this. Sorry, as the dub calls him, Akainu.
We're not doing that. But, so, yeah, we are talking about the Marineford Summit War arc of One Piece. And I gotta say, this area, this entire story of One Piece just goes off, and I fully enjoyed how much there was, like the amount of characters that showed up, the amount of story beats, the shit that Luffy goes through, even more. Luffy's going through more shit. It's exactly what I was hoping that One Piece would do around this time, like in not so much in the amount of episodes, but more in just the amount of like where we are in the story. That like, if this didn't happen right now, then I would feel like they're just padding time. But it didn't, and oh my god, is it so worth it.
Yeah, this is the arc where basically everything that they've built up for the past 400 episodes comes to a current head of, like, there's still plenty of stuff, like, that we gotta handle. We gotta handle the Void Century. We gotta handle what is the One Piece. We gotta handle the whole new world that comes afterwards. But everything from the Grand Line itself, like the first half of the Grand Line, comes to a head right here. The moment when Luffy truly gets to understand what it means to try to become the king of the pirates.
It all hits
what
the
he
beachhead.
has to sacrifice.
Yeah, it all hits the beachhead right now. Jinsu, what did you think of where you were? Because obviously, unfortunately, you weren't able to finish in time for the recording. So what were you thinking?
It's okay, I know everything about it.
Yeah, fair enough.
I already spoiled myself. I was too lazy to watch it, so I just Googled everything. Or actually, no, I just watched Totally Not Mark's explanation of everything.
Actually, fair enough. You know what? But
I watched
totally
this whole series. I watched this whole series as it was coming out because I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah,
so
like
and then I would stop. I would stop at like if like I hadn't watched that arc yet. I would watch it first, and then I would watch this video on it. And then that was basically my process of watching One Piece by myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is definitely a really big climax. They've been building it up really well, and kind of I feel like in the anime they just like I didn't read the manga, so I don't know what they have in it. But in the anime, it feels like they tease too much. Like they keep alluding to what's gonna happen. Like, hey, Ace's hat's falling on the floor, and there's no sound except for when his hat hits the floor, and his paper's all burnt up. And it's like, okay, I wonder what's gonna happen to Ace.
Yeah, that is the crux of One Piece. That the intro, like all the stuff that plays, shows off a lot of what happens, and also the titles of every episode completely ruin it.
I am glad that with the intro for this one specifically, luckily the only major spoilers you could get from it are like the obvious ones of like powers.
Oh yeah.
Like unless you are like fully reading into it to the max, you're not going to be spoiled on literally everything. Like
if you're not treating the intro like an English teacher.
Like yeah, no. The arcs through I will say that's one of the problems of this saga has had a lot of openings that spoil too much. Like the ones that come to mind is like the first one for Sabaody. The problem with that one was it showed all the way up to beginning of Impel Down.
It
And
jumps
it's like-
that far ahead while
and
still.
it stopped being played before Impel Down.
Yeah, we didn't even see anything that was actually happening for a long time.
Yeah, specifically they showed off all of the women from Amazon Lily, and then afterwards they showed off as one of the last shots of the opening, they showed Jinbei.
Meanwhile, we're still in the amusement park with Brooke and
Yeah!
and Chopper.
I will say it also has I'll say it has that problem of it shows too many spoilers, but it is one of my favorite songs. Like that's one thing. Like that song for Sabaody was one of my favorite songs that I've heard from One Piece. Like
I unfortunately cannot experience them the same as you, so I definitely do not remember any of them.
I re-listen to these songs all the time, so no wonder I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah, there's exactly One Piece song I listen to, and it's from the movie that I can't watch for a long time.
Dot Musica by Otto.
The one from film Red that came out last year. That means that I can't watch it until I watch another 500 episodes.
I showed you that, I
Yep.
remember, and I still find it so funny, the fact that the lyrics, like, for the beginning
The
and,
translation.
yeah, the translation are runes.
Nordic runes, but it's literally just her screaming. It's so funny. But yes, alright. Let's get into the story, because we got a lot to talk about.
A lot.
So, the first thing to know is that basically Ace has been taken from Impel Down and is being taken directly to Marineford, the Marine base. Like the headquarters of all the Marines. It's right there. And Ace is going there for his execution. It's a bit weird that his execution is being blown up more than Gold Roger's. That's pretty weird. It's probably because Whitebeard is on his way with literally everybody that's allied with him. And and everybody's like all the Marines are like pacing around nervously, like we're just seeing all of them just go like, oh my god, Whitebeard's coming, what are we gonna do? Oh my god. Meanwhile the admirals are just like, yeah, Whitebeard's coming, we got a plan. And of course there's the one with conflict in his heart.
Especially,
Garp.
I was going to say, especially the Fleet Admiral. Sengoku. He is, you can tell when it comes to this arc, that's my favorite thing about this arc, honestly. The whole dynamic between Sengoku and Whitebeard.
Yeah.
That they're calculating every step.
It gave me there's Sun Tzu, and then there was his rival throughout the entire time that Sun Tzu was doing war.
Yeah.
And like they constantly like fought each other like back and forth. They were full on rivals, and that was very much a dynamic that I felt with Sengoku and Whitebeard.
Yeah.
That they were just like ready to see one of them do their trump card, and then their counter to that trump card, and then another trump card, and then a counter to that trump card.
Yep.
That's very much the like I would very much enjoy watching Sengoku and Whitebeard play chess.
Sengoku and Whitebeard.
Playing chess.
I like how seeing that Sengoku and Whitebeard would be the ones to play chess, and the other two that would have a similar relationship where they could do that, being Garp and Gold Rogers. Like that one, they're playing chess. How am I winning? I'm eating the pieces. That's how they feel.
That's definitely Gold Roger eating the pieces, yes.
Not
It's
Gold
Garp.
Roger,
No, it'd be Garp? Okay.
It would be Garp and Gold.
No, they would both be eating the same amount of pieces, so
Whatever-
then it just turned into them eating.
whatever
Man,
piece-
how are we tied? I've been eating his pieces. He doesn't know I'm eating his pieces. They have a similar friendship, like Sengoku to Garp as Gold Roger to Whitebeard.
Yeah,
One's insane.
Those two have the same friendship, but how would Sengoku and Whitebeard get along the same as Garp and Gold?
No.
No,
It's
they
like
would
the,
be-
the two serious ones would be like taking it seriously, like they would be like
Oh, right.
intensely trying
They'd
to
be
beat each
light
other.
versus
Yeah.
L in chess. There you go.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Of like, I'm gonna beat this guy's ass. I'll beat this guy's ass. If he wins, I'm gonna blow up this entire base. If he wins, I'm gonna become Buddha and kill him.
But yeah, so like they full on like Ace is being marched to the execution block, and out in the middle of like Marineford has like this cape where it's like it's a horned cape, so there's two sides to it, and they're just like, there's no way Whitebeard's even gonna get close to here. We're fine. We have, like, if they've disappeared, we have no idea where they are, but it's fine. They're not even on their way here. And then they show up in the cape, inside, all four of Whitebeard's ships. Which, what's the name of his main one with the white, like, they're all...
Moby Dick.
The Moby Dick.
Yeah.
It's a white whale masthead themed ship that he has, and it is huge. And he full on just pops it right in the middle and is just like, "What up, motherfuckers?"
I loved the way they showed it off when he first came in. That was so bitchin'. The way that everything is just like, you see all the ships in the distance and they're slowly appearing. And it's like, okay, we don't see the Moby Dick. That means we should be fine. He wasn't able to get in.
He's too old.
And then suddenly, you just see the image of it underneath the water, covered in a bubble. The same bubble that you get from Sabaody.
Yeah.
As it pops out of the water, crashing waves all throughout Marineford. And you see the Whitebeard pirates pop out.
And Whitebeard literally, even as an old man, he takes off all of his like assisted living stuff, like his IV bags and his breather and like his oxygen thing, takes it all off and just stands right out in the open, just staring at them all. And it's just like, come at me.
His reasoning of, I don't want the enemy to look down on me. I love that.
Even though he's like 12 feet tall.
That's the thing. Yeah, no, in his eyes, it's he doesn't want it to appear that the enemy they're facing is a feeble old man. So he wants them to understand they are not facing a feeble old man. They are facing the man who could have been the king of the pirates.
And what a thing he does in showing off his devil fruit. He's got a devil fruit. And oh god, it's the tremor fruit. Which means that he can literally just cause the entire area to just go into full earthquake mode, tsunami mode. It's crazy. Like the amount of waves that he's causing to happen.
I got to realize that, by the way, as we were watching this show. I think the moment Whitebeard popped up was the moment I realized, yeah, no, if I had shown Mayhem sub version, he would not have continued watching because of the number of characters who actually have those One Piece laughs in the Japanese version. Like the fact that Whitebeard in the Japanese actually has a One Piece laugh. His specifically is Gurararara.
And yes,
which is the name of the fruit he has. The Gura Gura no Mi.
I am glad that you told me that, and I didn't watch that. I do not like One Piece laughs at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a big fan either.
Especially that one. Especially Gecko Moria.
No, you know what the worst one was? Hogback.
No, that's obnoxious, but the geesh of Gecko Moria's, it's grinding against my ears.
I hate it when that's how the character is what's the word? Like that's how you recognize the character.
Yeah, is there
you just hear the laugh and it's like, oh great.
Unfortunately, that's a bit of how I am.
I mean, I don't know. It's either that or it's either that or they fucking you see the character and all they do is their laugh.
All they do, yeah. But
it's like, yep, that's him. That's his laugh. Okay.
And like that's literally what happens when all of the warlords for the Marines are there. Like we see Boa Hancock, she's there. Kuma, he's there, and then Gecko Moria, and he just laughs.
I love that they're all lined up, all trying to be intimidating, and then you see Gecko Moria way above them, just
He's just
like, what the hell?
And it's just like, God damn it, he's still alive.
I did not know that in Japanese, Gecko Moria's voice actor is the same as Jinbei's.
Really?
Yeah. That's nuts to me.
You can do some shit with your voice, man.
Yeah. Well, mind you, in English, it's Chris Guerrero, who voices Ainz Ul Gon in Overlord.
Yeah.
Another example would be Cooler from The Abridged.
Oh, that's what he also did. Dr. Giro.
Yeah, Dr. Giro and Gecko Moria.
I remember being a kid watching TFS and being like, damn, that voice is like super high quality for like just a random web show.
Yeah,
on YouTube.
like he's really going off.
Like wow, this guy sounds better than the anime's Dr. Giro.
It's funny, he did that, and then later on, like several years later, he ends up doing Ainz Ul Gon, which became Mayhem's favorite anime.
Oh yeah, Overlord is one of my favorites.
Yeah, Ainz Ul Gon, the coolest voice you can hear in anime.
And like quickly after,
probably other than like Madara.
And like the going back to One Piece, Whitebeard's showing off his devil fruit, and it's awesome. All the ships are getting messed up. All the Marine ships are getting messed up, and then the admirals go to counter him. And we see the three admirals. We got Aokiji with his ice powers, which he freezes all of the water everywhere. There's what's the light guy? The guy with the light fruit. I forgot his name.
Kizaru.
Kizaru. Kizaru. He starts like going after a bunch of ships and stuff like that, and then we meet the final third admiral, Akainu, and as the final one to round out the trio, he has lava powers, the magma fruit,
And he has a cold heart.
and that's his back and forth.
And he's all angry and grumpy looking all the time, and he's a cigar.
Yeah.
And he
I do like that little note that when it comes to the admirals, like they've all got basically powers that are meant to be the opposite of their personality. If you got Aokiji, who's got a warm heart and tries to protect others, you got Akainu, who has a cold heart and is all for
Conniving.
justice, even if it hurts others.
Yeah.
And then you've got Kizaru, who has the fastest fruit but the slowest wit.
Yes.
He's not very bright, but he has
But
the
he
light
has-
fruit.
But he has the
That's
light
always
fruit.
the thing. I like how the way they portray it of he's dim-witted for the fact that like there's obvious things he doesn't get, but he's still tactician. Like that's how he got his role as an admiral. The fact that he is smart in combat.
Yeah.
He was able to handle Rayleigh. That is a thing that
He
is
went
has happened
toe
in
to
the story.
toe with
He went
Silver's
toe to
Rayleigh.
toe with him. Obviously, he wasn't able to beat him.
Yeah.
But that's a given, considering Rayleigh is meant to be one of the strongest characters in this entire verse.
Exactly. Yeah. And like so, Aokiji completely froze the Cape with everybody's with Whitebeard's ships on it, but the Whitebeard pirates, what do? They just get out and start running on the ice to board to get onto the island. And Sengoku like anticipated this. He's a million miles ahead, and he starts like having cannonballs be shot down at them and all that kind of stuff. And then we get to see another one of the Whitebeard pirates, Oars Jr., which is literally Oars from Thriller Bark alive, and sees and calls out to Ace, brother. And
I
like
wanna-
he's fully just leading the charge, and he's still got the super skinny legs that make me laugh every time I see it.
I want to mention real quick as well. You missed this detail, but I gotta add it because it was at about the beginning of this arc
Yeah.
that we get the reveal of, because obviously him being a Whitebeard pirate, Ace being a Whitebeard pirate, that's big news. Like no matter what, the fact that he is
He's part of a crew.
he's commander. He is the first commander of the second commander. Sorry, I think Marco is supposed to be the first commander
He's the first commander of the first fleet,
of the first fleet.
and
And
Ace
so-
is the first commander of the second fleet.
So second commander, yeah.
So
And
yeah,
so
by that logic, yeah.
that alone should be big details when it comes to Ace. The fact that he has connections to Luffy, who is the son of the Revolutionary,
And Garp.
and Garp, all this information is like, okay, no shit, he would be important. But it's still like, why? Why is this so important that you have to televise it to the world? Why is it so important you're willing to go to war with Whitebeard himself? And then we get the reveal. The reason it is so important to get rid of Ace is because he is the biological son of Gold D. Rogers.
Of Gold Rogers.
Dun, dun, dun.
That reveal, I know it like leading up to it, like it becomes pretty simple and easy to understand in the moment, but it's still the way they did it is so good, especially the backstory they
They
give
showed the backstory
to the reason why he was never discovered.
that they were making sure, like when they went to like arrest Gold Roger, they went to his home island, like and all that kind of stuff, and
They
went and
scoured the ocean.
checked all of the women there to see if like they were like pregnant or anything like that, to make sure that his bloodline ends with him. And the one woman that got with him was pregnant for 20 months.
Her name was, I believe her name was,
I believe her name was.
Rouge de Portgas.
Portgas, yeah. I was trying to remember the first part of the name.
Idiot. You didn't
But-
remember something.
God, the way they show it off, because like all the Marines, they were like, okay, go figure, like, no women, like it's impossible that any woman would have given birth to his son if she is around.
Yeah, we definitely checked all of the women after about 10 to 12 months.
Which
We're
is
fine.
fair. Which is fair. Like if you see no women have delivered a baby that is the child of Gold Roger at that time, it makes sense. The only one to end up checking and seeing for himself was Garp. He goes off because he's told by Rogers himself,
In prison.
"You're my greatest enemy. That's why I know I can trust you." Of protect my son. He is out there. He should be born pretty soon. Check on him. Protect him. And it's like, why do you think I'm the one that'd be able to protect him? You're my greatest enemy.
Because
Fair enough.
Because you're the motherfucker that's gonna do it.
I've seen that meme so many times, by the way, of just like girls like, she's my best friend. I couldn't possibly trust her. Versus guys, we've tried to kill each other so many times. That's why I know I can trust you.
That's why I know that you're the guy for this, and you gotta help us.
So Gold Roger, after his passing, told Garp
Execution.
after his execution, Garp made his way to basically check on Ace, and she waited. What was it? Almost 2 years, basically.
Like 20 months, yeah. So almost 2 years, yeah.
Almost 2 years. She held back Ace. It took all of her life force to make sure he was not born, at least until the search had calmed down.
And didn't she die from that?
She did.
She
That's
fell-
what I mean. When I say her life force was drained, fully. The moment after his birth, she died.
She was just fully just like, ugh!
It's the reason why Ace carries the name Portgas.
Yeah,
like
'cause-
it's the reason he doesn't take the name Gold Roger.
Also to keep some heat off of him.
He
And
didn't
so
care about that. He didn't care about that. What
he
he cared about
also-
was honoring his mother.
He was growing up and literally like hearing about like people like trash on Gold Roger the entire time, and then he just as kids do, what would you guys do? What would happen if you found out if Gold Roger had a son? And then everybody was just like, we would kill him.
Yeah, I don't know, Jimmy. I mean, if I was the son of Gold Rogers, what would you do?
What would you do, Jimmy? If
Well,
I
Carl,
was
you
the
see,
son
I'd
of
probably
Gold
kill that son of a
Roger?
bitch. Yeah, Jimmy, you're kind of a fucker.
You're a fucker, Jimmy.
Jimmy, why did you were friends with him?
Why are you friends with?
I couldn't possibly be friends with somebody that sucky.
And heinous and evil?
Why am I friends with somebody named?
Fuck you, Jimmy.
I'm sorry for anybody listening to that part. It's like the first time I actually felt bad. Not me doing it by myself. All three of us doing it.
Three of us going in. Jimmy.
Kermit.
Yeah, I'm the son of Goldie Roger, Luffy.
Let me
Nice.
date your mom, Jimmy.
My mom's dead. Carl.
God damn it.
Robin.
So yeah, his mom's dead.
My mother is dead.
And so you mentioned little bro Ors Jr.
He's not little anymore, but yeah. So like we get like this cool backstory of why he sees Ace as like a big brother. And it's literally like a mirror moment of like
I made him a hat.
of like Luffy being like, "Oh my god, that's my brother." It's so funny that Luffy and Ors Jr. had like the same experience with Ace, where it's just like they had such a good moment together. Where Ors is just like he's too massive to actually like not experience harsh weather at all. And what does Ace do? He makes him a giant rice hat. And it blocks out the sun, it protects his head from the rain and snow, and all this crazy stuff. And Ors is
Didn't
just
he mention where he learned it from as well?
did he say Wano?
I think he said Wano. Like he
probably-
said, I learned it from Wano.
From a friend in
That
Wano
is
or
so
something.
cool.
Yes, he learned the Asian method from the Asian island.
No, I'm saying it's cool the fact that he's been to Wano.
Yeah. It's still just funny to me. It's like, don't worry, guys, he learned from the Asian place. Don't worry.
No, it's just another little note when it comes to One Piece. That's kind of one of my another one of my favorite things of the amount of teasing when it comes to certain islands. Like it's the reason why whenever I heard somebody say, I remember watching this video where it was like, I don't think we're gonna go to Elbaf. Actually, I was like, bullshit. This island has been teased so many times. There's no fucking way we're not going to Elbaf. And so it's the reason why it was obvious we'd go to Wano at some point.
There's too many things, like, in One Piece, there's too many things, like, just too many times that something has been talked about, and then we see it. And, like with the amount of build-up in between actually seeing it, it, like, keeps getting more and more, like, intense. And that's why you said Elbaf, that's the Giants one, right?
Yep, Land of the Giants.
I feel like that one's gonna be, like, the most built-up one. that like when we finally get there and see that, it's gonna be
Elbaf
crazy.
is going to be. I'm guaranteeing it. It's going to be one of the most important arcs of the story. It'll be. I feel it'll end up being basically similar to Wano of its importance.
Damn, that's pretty important.
Yeah.
But going on, so with the combination of Whitebeard's tremor fruit and Aokiji freezing the ocean, it caused like a giant wave to happen. And little did we know that while all the battles happening and Oars Jr. almost reaching Ace and basically dying, Mihawk cutting his leg off, it was a bunch of crazy shit happening and basically him dying. And Sengoku sends up this giant wall to make sure that no one can get onto the island. But the part that Oars Jr.'s on, he's too heavy for the wall to lift up. So he's the method of escape. You have to climb over his dead body in order to get onto the island.
That was insane, honestly. It was so insanely brutal.
And meanwhile, all of this crazy stuff is happening. And all of a sudden, from the sky, does Luffy, Jinbei, Ivankov, all of the people from Impel Down just come falling out of the sky. And it's like, what the hell?
That was so funny.
And we get like a quick like turn back the time sort of moment where like they're going to try like from the last time on Impel Down they were heading to Marineford, and so we finally get to see how they got there and like as they were going, and then they got there a lot faster when Whitebeard send the wave in, and then they got picked up and then frozen by Aokiji's the freezing of the ocean, and they got stuck up on top a giant wave. And then they're all just like, man, we gotta get down there. How are we supposed to do that? And then they literally just go, why don't we just jump? And they send the ship over and they all just start falling.
Not even just, why don't we jump? No, it was, okay, here, let me break this so I could go straight down. And everybody on the ship, just like all the major players coming in and just stomping on the ice once. And you see Buggy, who has produced nothing. This is my favorite little background part of the image of like you see everybody there and you see they all have these massive cracks and then Buggy.
Yep. And so they
who did the most damage.
And literally, as soon as Luffy sees Whitebeard, he just goes, "Hey, old man, what are you doing? What are you doing?" They just start arguing with each other. It's so funny to me.
They didn't even argue.
It was not
Luffy's just screaming at
Yeah,
him.
Luffy was just screaming at him.
That was my favorite
Whitebeard just looks at him.
Whitebeard's
The
just like,
interaction.
what the hell?
Because it was
Why is there a
specifically
chattering monkey right there?
the moment they
Monkey
they
D.
landed-
Luffy!
The moment they landed, what it was Crocodile was the first one to make a move in that moment.
That's right.
Because Crocodile makes his way and is just like, well, I'm ready to kill this man.
Yeah,
He's just ready to kill Whitebeard.
Luffy took a ship of people all wanting to kill Whitebeard to go help Whitebeard.
And they do.
And
That's
then
the thing that's crazy. They do help out Whitebeard eventually.
Whitebeard does have the same Luffy effect where they are like enemies, but
They respect him.
But they respect him, and then they go, "Oh, great! Now I have to keep him alive. Great!"
Yeah. But when it came to
Which
Crocodile,
is the best protagonist power.
Crocodile going off to try to kill Whitebeard, at which point Luffy pops up in second gear form and stops him. And it wasn't even this moment where he was scared of second gear. He looked at Luffy, and the only reason he stopped was, he knows my weakness. I can't continue.
Yeah, he knows.
I thought that was so cool. Like it was specifically that whole line of like I don't give a shit that you're in a second gear or whatever. I don't give a shit about your gears. I give a shit the fact that you know how to stop me.
Yeah, that my main weakness, the one thing that can take me out, and you're the one that figured it out. God damn it!
So you're the brother of Ace, are you, Luffy? Shut up, old man!
Shut up!
I know you're trying to be Pirate King. That's gonna be me. Just everybody. Fucking idiot's gonna die.
And just seeing the
I
scale
like you, brat.
that Whitebeard's like 12 feet tall compared to Luffy's 5 feet tall.
He is about like I think he's like 5'7" or something like that.
I'm not even gonna give him that, especially standing next to Whitebeard. I'm not giving him the 7 inches.
By the way,
Chattering
Whitebeard is voiced by
monkey.
Ginyu.
Really?
Yeah, Whitebeard is Ginyu,
That's great.
like English Ginyu.
I'm glad he got more than after the.
He's also Pixis.
Oh.
Yeah, from Attack on Titan.
Oh.
All right. That makes sense. They have the same face. Same tired face.
Whitebeard
It's
and
one of the
Texas do.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's
Can you-
basically there's like 5 old men voices in anime.
Ginyu got the wrinkles on his forehead.
Yeah. That's big brain mode.
Your brain wrinkly. Think too much.
My
Think
brain
equals
smooth.
sad.
Smooth, no sad. I do not think, therefore I do not am.
Smooth. Brain is cute. No thinking equals no sad.
All the sad thoughts slide off. So after after they finally get over, there's Whitebeard. Okay, let's just go get the Marines now and save Ace, because that's what we promised Luffy. It's a full-on back and forth battle between all of Whitebeard's Devil Fruits and the Marines' Devil Fruits. We see Aokiji going off. We see Akainu showing off his Magma Fruit, and then we get to see some of the Whitebeard pirates, which there's been a character that you guys have been telling me about, and then I finally get to see why.
Marco the Phoenix.
Marco the Phoenix. He has the Phoenix fruit.
Pineapple head.
Pineapple head with the but he's a
mythical
phoenix,
fruit. It's a mythical devil fruit.
Mythical zone.
Mythical zone.
which I equate it more of the rooster crown instead of
Yeah.
a pineapple tuft.
Yeah, but meanwhile, for Luffy, it is pineapple.
When he's bird, it's cock crown. When he's a person, it's pineapple tough.
His pineapple hole. You cut off his head and you get a hole.
If I were king, I would want to execute anybody referring to my crown as the cock crown.
Or no, the cock crest.
I would
That's what it's called.
I would. What do you think I'd try and do with my hair?
You try to make a cock crown?
Cock crest.
Crest.
Because the real name for the thing is crest.
It's a
No, I
crest.
imagine specifically for Mayhem, it is called the cock crown.
Cock crown.
I am the biggest cock.
I'm the biggest cock. I'm the biggest cock.
Call me dickhead.
Can we ask why?
No.
No further questions.
No, and you can't call me dickhead.
Please
Also,
do not
you
refer to
can't.
me. Please do not refer to me.
But yeah, so and we also get another guy. I can't remember his name, but he has the diamond fruit where he turns literally rock
Jozu.
hard. He turns rock hard.
Juzo.
Rock hard.
Juzo the diamond.
And then we also see like a bunch of other all of the because Whitebeard, all of his allies are like circled around the island.
Jozu.
Jozu? Oh.
Yeah.
But
You're a Juzo.
but all of Whitebeard's like allies and stuff like that, they're circled around the island on all their ships, and we get to see like a bunch of other characters, like all of their captains and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool seeing all of this like other cast of characters that could have been part of their own show. If
Look.
Whitebeard was the protagonist of his own show.
Yeah.
Those are the most interesting characters.
Yeah.
Mentioning one of the other most notable ones was Vista, which I want to mention this because this guy was awesome. So, you mentioned Jozu. Jozu was awesome because the moment that they landed, the first thing that popped out and tried to kill them was Mihawk.
Oh yeah, Mihawk.
Dracula Mihawk tried to kill them using his sword, and you watch this blade, basically slash, make its way over towards them, about to hit the ship, and Jozu is the one to block it using his diamond fruit.
Yeah,
He withstood a blast from Mihawk.
which not a lot of things do that. It's the Destructo disc of One Piece.
And the only reason why he withstood it is because Mihawk didn't think he was going to be cut in diamond. So he didn't.
So he went, oh.
And then,
But then when he thinks, oh, but my sword actually can cut diamond, and then Josu's like, shit!
during the time when Luffy and crew are making their way to try to make it to Ace, the point that I really like is as they're making their way, Luffy gets encountered by Mihawk.
Yeah, he gets intercepted by Mihawk, and there's like a moment where Luffy actually sees, like when he's trying to attack Mihawk, he gets like a flash of what's going to happen if he continues his attack. He's like doing the bazooka, right?
Yeah.
He's doing the bazooka attack, and he just gets a flash of Mihawk literally cutting his arms off. And what does Luffy do? He just completely blasts the ground in front of Mihawk and just runs.
Yeah. I was going to say, that's something that I always thought was cool. I was so excited for you to see that because of the fact that I read about that. What it is the idea is that Mihawk has a form of, we hear about it later on, obviously, observation hockey.
Yeah.
He has a form of observation haki so strong, he can give his opponents an image of the future.
Here you go, bitch. This is how you die.
Zoro saw himself die. That's the idea. Zoro saw himself die on that day?
Probably from being hit in the back.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And the moment that he turned around and was like a swordsman with scars on his back is like a dishonor, basically, kind of thing.
Yeah.
The moment he did that, that was the reason why Mihawk was smiling. Because this man knew he was about to die, and he still stood up strong.
And he was just
He's
like,
like, this guy's gonna actually do it. This guy could actually beat me.
yeah.
Meanwhile, Mihawk starts chasing after Luffy, getting ready to kill him. And who gets
Intercepts.
intercepts him? Vista. One of the 5th Division commander of the Whitebeard Pirates, Vista. Holy shit!
Do you use MasterCard or Vista? So yeah, that's a whole thing that's happening. But the entire time, Sengoku's just like, a little bit more, a little bit longer, a little bit longer. And he's just like, what are you planning, Sengoku? And turns out, it's actually the pacifistas that get launched on all of Whitebeard's forces surrounding the island. That they full on surround the ships and just start blasting away and just start destroying and killing people all over the place.
My favorite part about that, honestly, was Ivankov's reaction to that. Because Ivankov had intercepted Kuma and had mentioned throughout this arc that apparently he is friends with Kuma. Kuma is a fellow revolutionary, or at least was, and we get this really interesting moment where as he's talking to Kuma, trying to figure out what the hell is happening, of all people to talk to him, Doflamingo pops up. Doflamingo walks up to him and is like, oh, you're trying to handle him? Yeah, about that. The Kuma you know is dead.
He's gone. He's been replaced by machinery.
He's been replaced by machinery. I'm going to pop up something about Doflamingo because I want to talk about something else he did. But yeah, Doflamingo, he pops up and is mocking Ivankov, but still telling him straight to his face, like, the Kuma you know is gone.
Your friend is dead.
It's like he's mocking him, but at the same time still, like, giving him...
Your friend is dead. My condolences.
Yeah.
And then there's, this is when the spider guy does his thing, right? The old guy with the dog face stabs Whitebeard.
Oh, it's around the time. So, basically all these different commanders of the Whitebeard's crew, which, by the way, Vista, I mentioned earlier, intercepted Mihawk, and I will say that was the moment I was really excited about, because you get to see another swordsman at maybe the same scale as Mihawk, because by the end of this, he's not dead.
Yeah.
That's a notable thing. He's not dead.
Yeah, he survives Mihawk, yeah.
And he's a swordsman who has apparently wanted to clash with Mihawk for the longest time. So it's basically like, I look at this as like, okay, there's another stepping stone for Zoro.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be him before you can beat Mihawk.
But basically what ends up happening is, as all these different commanders, because it's not just normal commanders, it's people that Whitebeard has found and has basically enveloped into his crew and made an armada.
Yep.
And so one of them, this dog-faced looking guy, basically, with balding, he's making his way, getting ready to charge up and help out Ace, and he gets intercepted by Akainu. And it's like, okay, is he about to die because of Akainu? Akainu begins to talk to him.
But yeah, it's like, it's weird seeing like one of the main admirals just out at the edge of the island, like at the edge of the battle, not in the main area, and he just starts talking like how Whitebeard has a deal that everybody else outside of the Cape is going to be killed by the pacifistas, but Whitebeard will be fine and Ace will be fine.
And
like everybody else will be killed.
The cherry on top of what he said, though, is still insane. Where he says, "Yeah, Ace is the son of Gold Roger, and for that character, that's the biggest deal for him."
That's because we learned that his past crew before he joined the Whitebeard Pirates was destroyed by Gold Roger.
Yeah.
And Akainu just perfectly found the perfect person to tell, hey, Whitebeard's going to betray you. Go betray him. And what does he do? He goes right up to Whitebeard and stabs him through the chest.
Yep.
And what does Whitebeard do? Not kill him.
He gets down. It looks like he's about to kill him. And what does he do? He embraces him and says, "My idiot son." And That is the point when every man goes, God damn it, Whitebeard! Holy shit, you're pulling the heartstrings!
You're too awesome!
Holy shit, that was such a good moment where Whitebeard, even though he's been impaled through the chest, just says to his son, because that is, every one of these people on his crew are his children. He says to his son, basically, I don't blame you for being an idiot.
No, Jinsu, it's very literal.
I gave birth to them myself.
I am asexual.
It's Whitebeard is the epitome of found family.
Yes.
Why do you think I named Ace?
Because he was the first. He's the one I birthed!
He came
I-
from my pride.
I named him Ace because he was my 13th son. 13th? Wait, what?
But yeah, so it's like there was like this whole moment where like all of his like of his armada they were starting to waver in trust to Whitebeard, and he just fully just goes, "Yes, he's Gold Roger's son, but that shouldn't define Ace. He's still my son. I don't care about anybody's lineage. You are all my kids, my sons. I would do this for literally any of you if any of you were in this position." Because, like, they were assuming, oh, we're just saving Ace because he's the son of Gold Roger. No, we're saving Whitebeard's son because he wants his sons to live.
Yeah.
And that is, like, the moment that, like, as soon as Whitebeard just completely just demolishes that plan, that idea of sowing discourse. But yeah, so Luffy's, like, trying to charge up to get over Oars Jr., and he's fighting different warlords, coming across different ones, and then Boa Hancock shows up and is just like, "Don't worry, Luffy, we're still on the same side," because a Pacifisto shows up, and the Pacifistos don't shoot allies, so Luffy hides behind Boa Hancock.
She didn't show up because of Pacifista. She showed up because of Captain Smoker.
That too. Yeah, Smoker showed up.
Smoker shows up the moment he saw Luffy. That was one thing I thought was also bitchin'. He pulls basically a crocodile, where Crocodile showed up ready to kill Whitebeard. He sees Luffy, and Tashigi, she's still talking to him, and then out of nowhere, he just bursts forward. As he's basically bursting forward, he goes to kill Luffy and gets stopped by Boa.
Yep.
And so they have a little tussle there. But I'll say, around the same time, we also get one of my favorite moments where one of the people that Doflamingo is fighting starts yelling at him of like justice will prevail this day, and like is going off of like trying to be righteous, and he starts his speech, which is my favorite line in this entire arc.
Doflamingo just comes in, says some cool shit, and then just leaves.
Yeah, he's a badass. Where he says, "Pirates are evil, the Marines are righteous. These terms have always changed throughout the course of history. Kids who have never seen peace and kids who have never seen war have different values. Those who stand at the top determine what's wrong and what's right. This very place is neutral ground. Justice will prevail, you say? But of course it will. Whoever wins this war becomes justice."
Becomes justice. Yeah, because no matter who wins, the good guys win.
That moment where he yells out those lines is absolutely bone-chilling.
And meanwhile, while all of this is happening, there's been two characters that have just been seeing war for the first time. Kobe and what's-his-face? Helmeppo. And Kobe is not taking this well. He's not taking well. He has full-on shell shock.
We also get the most horrifying moment for the Marines, but the most inspiring moments for the pirates. Because, as we mentioned, Whitebeard was stabbed,
Oh, yeah.
but he wasn't angry at his son. The person he was angry at were the Marines themselves for having tricked his son. And so he
playing dirty.
finally enters the battlefield. Like, everybody's like, "Oh, well, he's been stabbed. It should be fine." And the one where it's like, "Oh, it'll be fine. I can easily handle this guy," was one of the giant Marines. And when I say that, I mean literally he was a giant.
He's a giant, yeah.
Who rolls up on Whitebeard, ready to try to take him out, bringing down his sword, and he says, "Move out of my way. You're blocking my view."
You're blocking my view!
And
I must protect my image!
he reaches his weapon up and clashes with it and throws the guy's sword back. And then he drops his weapon, and as it's spinning in the air, slides into the ice as Whitebeard grabs the air and shows in the most destructive way possible his power
Yeah.
of ripping the air apart and causes destruction across all of Marineford. And that's the point when Luffy turns around and witnesses the power of a true pirate king.
Of a contender to the throne.
I remember you were the one to say this actually. Of like you consider that that Whitebeard is basically the pirate king of this era.
Yeah, he's the unofficial king.
He's the unofficial king, which is a fitting title.
Born mainly out of strength, not recognized by the Marines or anything like that. Just more of he's just that strong.
Yeah, he's the strongest figure in this entire world right now. And mind you, the only people that really come close to his kind of strength are folks like Rayleigh, and the only other one, like, you've heard about him a few times, but the only other one would be like Kaido.
Kaido, yeah. Like they're like there was the supernovas with Luffy, but these are the supernovas of the contenders to the throne.
I remember hearing that at the beginning of the arc, by the way, like that whole moment where they mentioned that Shanks, like, oh, what's Shanks doing right now? Well, he intercepted Kaido and made sure that he didn't come to Marineford. Why? Because Marineford would be gone.
It would be too bad.
Basically, the result that we've all come to a conclusion with when it comes to Kaido is if he had come to Marineford, Kaido would have died, but so would everybody else.
Yeah.
The destruction you see at Marineford by the end of this is nothing in comparison of what would have happened if Kaido was there.
Yeah. But so yeah, Kobe is just like, oh my god, it's war! But then he does get like a bit snapped out of it, and lo and behold, who's the person that he has to fight? Luffy! And Luffy just easily just like, is like, you're not in the right mind right now, and just completely bulldozes over him.
Yeah.
But he does still hit Kobe, right?
Yeah, he punches Kobe.
Yeah, he
I'll
punches
say,
him out of the way.
before this is actually the part that I actually liked the most when it came to Kobe. It was the fact that he ran off like with Helmeppo before their fight with his fight with Luffy. He ran off with Helmeppo just like, we got to get out of here. Honestly, we need to escape this.
Yeah, he's starting to.
And
get
as
a
they're
bit of
running
desertion.
away, they see somebody else had tried running away and was intercepted by Akainu. And Akainu looks at him and goes like, "There's no room for cowards among the Marines," and just melts him.
And kills a Marine. Yeah, Akainu is the one that kills deserters. That's the kind of character that we're dealing with. And I'm just like, oh, okay.
Akainu, throughout most of this moment, has been basically doing as many underhanded techniques as possible. And it's horrifying compared to what we've seen with the other admirals. Because with Aokiji, we've seen what he did. He froze Luffy. He almost killed Luffy. The only reason he stopped was because he had some sense of caring for Nico Robin.
Yeah.
And then there is Kizaru. Kizaru, we got to see, he's an unstoppable force, and the only thing that could stop him was a similarly unstoppable force. Like, he's not even a man. He was an obstacle.
He was a force of nature.
A full-on force of nature.
That's how powerful those fruits are.
And Akainu is worse than any of them. He's the man that convinced a Whitebeard pirate to betray Whitebeard himself. He is the man who rained down lava fists from the sky.
Yeah,
meteors.
He sends out a full-on Draco meteor attack on the ice so that when pirates that are charging to try and get onto land, they full-on just get hit by it. And then there's giant holes in the ground straight to the ocean. And if there's any devil fruit users in that area, they just get fully drowned.
Yeah.
And he does not care. But yeah, so Luffy like just punches Kobe aside, and just as he's running up, he finally gets onto land, climbing over Oars Jr., and is met by Garp.
The build up to that is also another thing I love, where it was specifically, it was a moment where a character we barely see very often, but it was the assistant to Ivankov who ran up, ready to help out Luffy
With the scissors
as he chops up the ground and makes it a staircase for Luffy as Luffy runs up, encounters Garp, and has the most heartbreaking moment where Garp has to stand up to him as hero of the Marines. honestly, when it came to Garp, it was just the saddest thing because no matter what, he's losing. No matter what with this situation, he's going to lose.
Because no
He
matter
either
what,
loses a grandson or he loses respect.
not so much loses respect, but like loses his place in his world. Because in his world, he's the vice admiral of the Marines, of the righteous Marines. But here's his 2 grandsons being the ones to take the brunt of their fury, basically, and he has to make a decision about which one that he chooses over.
It's basically like no matter what, he had to side with the Marines because of the fact that if he did not, it is the hero of the Marines being shown to be working with pirates. That would destroy public image of the world government. And while he doesn't
unfortunately,
like
Garp
the
cares
people
about that.
While he doesn't like the people in the world government, he does care about the peace of the world. And that was just a moment where it's like, lose.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
And just that moment where he goes off ready to punch Luffy, and he flashes to him, Luffy, and Ace hanging out when those 2 were kids.
When they were younger, and it's just like, oh no!
And he quickly just loses faith in it and gets punched off. And even Sengoku just like, you're an idiot, Garp.
You're holding back.
You're an idiot. You're holding back. But what can I say? It's your son. We also got, as this is all happening, we had Sengoku. The moment he saw Luffy, was just like, I know how to handle this little fucker. And he goes Monkey D. Luffy.
That's exactly what I need Sengoku's voice actor to do. Monkey D. Luffy, you fucker!
But
in the same way that he yells at Garp.
Starts yelling out, Monkey D. Luffy. Let's talk about another kid with interesting family. Let's talk about the kid who is the son of Monkey D. Dragon, the revolutionary. And everybody just like, oh, fuck! And Ivankov especially just like, oh, shit, he name-dropped my boss. And and then you've got, everybody's reacting in their own ways of just like, Jesus Christ, Monkey D. Dragon is his father. Holy shit.
How could I have not made this connection before with Monkey D.
It was
Luffy?
also a reveal that he was the son of Garp.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. It was basically, it wasn't even just like a reveal of like, that's his son. That's the full name of Dragon. Monkey D. Dragon.
Which is another contender for me believing that it's Monkey D. Garp. That Garp is Dragon's father. That's another.
Garp's name is Monkey D. Garp, yeah.
It is Monkey D. Garp, okay.
Yeah, no, okay.
Another contender for me being like that they're all related.
Yeah. No, what I'm saying though is like, when it comes to that, it's not like, sharing that name is anything unusual. There are people in Japan who, there are plenty of people in Japan who actually will take the name of, their, wife's family.
But here's the thing. No.
Okay.
But yeah, so Luffy goes, so the entire area, like the execution block with Ace, is like become like a small battleground between Luffy and Sengoku. And Sengoku reveals his devil fruit.
Not yet. Ooh, I gotta mention this.
What?
So, a little background for what's been happening this entire time. We won't mention it much because it's not important, but it's just funny. The background B story that is Buggy the Clown.
Oh yeah, Buggy the
entire time.
Buggy the Clown has tried to get a video snail so that Buggy can basically use propaganda for the entire world because it's being broadcast, because the war is being shown off to the entire world. And Buggy the Clown is just like, all right, I'm going to take this time to try and make my comeback. All right, everybody.
Who's that handsome figure in the distance, says the cameraman.
I'm Buggy the Great.
Tell us more.
I'm Buggy the Great.
Yeah, it turns out Buggy has terrible stage fright, which kills me.
I'm Buggy the Great.
I love it. It's so damn funny.
And everybody's just like, show the war! Where's Whitebeard?
Yeah, no, it's
Get
really
back
cool.
to the action!
Everything they did about that, because the entire time the Marines are trying to cut off camera feeds now, because it's like, okay, reveal their information. Let's go ahead and handle all our underhanded tactics now.
We're starting to show off our corruption, turn off the cameras.
Basically. And the fact that Buggy is the one to end up saving, saving the last camera.
Yeah.
And ends up using that to reveal to the world all this different horrible shit that happens at Marineford. And meanwhile, Buggy's the one to notice that one of his members of his quote-unquote crew,
His new crew.
has slipped away. Who is it? But Mr. 3 has slipped away and is doing something. And we see what he's doing is he slipped off to the headquarters and has been going around trying to figure out a way to escape, the best way to survive, essentially.
He's thinking for himself.
He ends up beating the shit out of this one guy in a uniform and takes his place. And he's dragged off by some Marines to the execution platform, at which point he realizes he is dressed up as one of the executors.
He's one of the guys. So the entire time, Mr. 3 has been right next to Ace the entire time. And
you missed one of Luffy's biggest moments.
I've been reading the thing. I've been going off it
Hockey.
exactly. Did he did another blast of hockey?
You forgot to mention his big blast of hockey.
He did a blast of hockey.
Yeah, it was
Moving
specifically
on.
it was there was the reason why Mr. 3 is being brought up is because they needed replacement essentially executors. And the reason why is because early on, as it was essentially when the cameras turned off, was the moment that Sengoku was like, okay, let's do this. And they go to get ready to kill Ace. And that is the point when Luffy shows off his hockey as he yells at them to stop. And everyone around him, basically anybody not strong, fell in that moment.
Got hit with his
massive
blast.
hockey blast.
Yeah. So Mr. 3
So that's the reason why Mr. 3 is being brought in.
And
And that's when Luffy shows up for Ace. Just like, I'm here to save you. I don't have a key. What the hell?
and
And Mr. 3.
wax key. Yeah. So he unlocks Ace. They're free. But Sengoku's obviously pissed about that. So he turns into.
I remember your reaction to this.
that Sengoku activates his devil fruit, the human fruit model Buddha,
Yep.
where he turns into a giant golden man.
I remember your reaction to this where you're just like, what the hell is happening as he grows, and it primarily shows his afro
Getting
becoming
bigger, yeah.
giant golden orbs, a collection of giant golden orbs.
I was like, what the hell?
What the hell is happening as you're just looking at this?
Jinzo, what did you think of the Buddha fruit?
The Buddha fruit?
Yeah.
That shit's stupid.
Thank you.
I thought it was cool. Like, the fact that the leader of the Marines is Buddha. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen that image of,
And he's like the least chill guy.
yeah. Have you ever seen that
constantly
image
stressed.
of Buddha handing a fruit to a monkey?
Yeah.
There's people have said that that's supposed to be, like, that's kind of the reference of Buddha and monkey.
God damn
Monkey
it.
D. Garp, yeah.
God damn it. I understand it, and I hate it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, we get the Buddha fruit. It's the human fruit model Buddha, which means holy shit, just imagine Chopper in this moment.
Chopper.
Because-
What the hell?
What the hell?
What that's what I gotta ask now with the rumble ball that Chopper has. Is
Do you
that
think
only
it could work on other zones? Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like
Jinzu, do you think that the Rumble Ball could work on other zones?
is it only for Chopper's fruit?
I feel like Chopper would have to make adjustments. If he
Like
tried-
it's
if he-
it's been carefully curated for his own devil fruit.
right, and for like his body size and weight, and for whatever function it has.
Imagine him making like Sengoku having his own version of a rumble ball.
Just a slim Buddha.
Here comes Netero's big Guanyin Bodhisattva.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly that. Yeah, he
I would love that.
takes one too many and just becomes enlightened. We
Takes-
shouldn't fight anymore.
Takes 10,000, gets 10,000 hands.
10,000 hands to do something specific. So yeah, Ace has been rescued. Yay! We got like the main thing is happening. Yay! And what does Whitebeard have to say about that? Let's get the hell out of here.
Let's go!
But here's
Everybody get out! But me!
and everybody's just like, "Oh shit, he's staying behind."
Dad, no!
Dad, yes.
Dad, yes! As he goes and starts just destroying the Marines. And it's just like, he literally knows, this is my last moment. I'm going to go out fighting.
Is this when it happens?
So damn cool.
Is this when it's the One Piece?
No, not yet.
not yet,
This
okay.
is where we get Akainu chasing after Luffy and Ace, and he goes, "Man, of course you'd be the son of a criminal and a coward. What'd you just say about Pops? I called him a coward, staying behind, leaving his men. He's doing the most courageous thing. He's a coward. Your Pops is a bitch ass motherfucker.
He pissed on my wife."
But
And
he
he
goes,
goes,
bullshit.
This part definitely reminded me of the end of the Jedi Fallen Order game, where it's like when Darth Vader shows up after you save your friend, and you save your friend, and Darth Vader shows up, and you just go, "Oh shit!" and you just run. That's exactly like my brain was just like making the same connection. I was just like, that's exactly what I was expecting to see.
And so we get Akainu of Ace runs over to try to punch him in the face of like, "Don't you talk shit about my Pops," and realizes his fire cannot touch Akainu.
It's
It's a
Ace's
magma
fire
that can burn fire.
has nothing compared to how terrible magma is for it. And for someone who's never been properly punched ever since they got the fruit, that very much knocks Ace down.
So
And he just goes, "Shit! Luffy! Run! Luffy, we gotta go!"
and Luffy, he starts running, but he ends up stopping because he dropped something. I think it was specific.
It was the paper.
He dropped the Vivra card, and so Ace runs in and takes the attack for Luffy because Akainu runs over ready to punch and kill Luffy, and ends up punching through Ace.
It makes a donut.
Which
You hungry for donuts, Jinsu?
Womp womp.
the moment of Ace being punched through the chest and dying. He begins to die because of this, and he gets just a few last words to Luffy, telling him how happy he is that Luffy was his brother, saying how Dadan, who we'll meet later, how he's upset that he'll make her upset again.
He'll make
And
the surrogate mother upset.
He says, "Hey, at least I'll be able to see Sabo again," and all this stuff. And like we haven't even met those characters yet, but he says, "Thank you for being my brother, and thank you for loving me." And he dies.
And Luffy's just gets fully traumatized.
Oh, you want to recreate the moment that we watched that as the episode ended? Ace, Fire Fist Ace is dead, and I knew all along.
Yes, we watched this episode, all three of us, and as Ace dies, the episode's over, and I get up and I go to Duke, and I just go, "That was terrible. Oh my god!" And I knew the whole time that Ace dies. That
And
was a spoiler
This
that I
this
knew.
moment of
They were holding that back in for so long. They didn't know that I knew that Ace dies, and I held it from them. That's what you do with knowledge that other people don't know about, Duke. You hold it from them. You don't tell them. You don't tell them everything. You hold it in so that when it all comes out, it hits you like a truck.
That's why we didn't tell you that is that. Because we were
that's
holding,
why the memes spoiled you,
Yeah,
and not
that's
me.
that's why we were
Exactly.
holding it in.
But here's the thing, I knew, and it was so much better for you guys to find out that I knew. It wasn't for me.
It was funny because I was waiting. I had like a whole like catalog of memes of Ace getting butchered that I was gonna send to Mayhem because
And you did.
I'm pretty sure
because Mayhem loves Ace. He fucking loves Ace.
He's
Like,
awesome. And now he's dead.
I'm pretty sure that was actually the moment where we saw the episode, and then I said, "Go for it," basically to Jinsu, and I just watched his like 13 different memes pop up into our group chat.
He just all hits him. And meanwhile, you know who's not happy about that? Whitebeard.
Yeah.
As Whitebeard just goes, "All right, I'm taking as many with you down with me as possible. Everybody, get out. Grab Luffy, go." And just I think it was Jinbei that grabbed Luffy.
Jinbei was the one who grabbed Luffy because in this moment, Luffy is comatose.
He's fully just broken.
Luffy is broken. He's comatose, and so Jinbei grabs him of like, "We need to get the hell out of here." And he actually says, he has a moment where I thought was kind of cool, where he says, I'm not doing this to honor your request. I'm doing this because Luffy is the man who earned my respect.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
Jinbei is starting to be. I know that Jinbei becomes the one of the next members of the Straw Hat Pirates. So
You're gonna love
it's-
how it happens,
Like
yeah.
this is definitely the biggest step forward for him to be willing to be part of the Straw Hats.
Yeah.
And-
I'll say this. We get some very cool moments when it comes to Luffy being protected by all these people. One of the people that ends up protecting him, I still thought was really cool, was Crocodile.
Was Crocodile? yeah.
Crocodile throughout this is here and there trying to protect Luffy. Like one of the moments was back when they were freeing Ace. Because there were two people meant to execute Ace, and so one of them was going down ready to kill him, and gets iced by Crocodile, and
More like sanded by Crocodile.
I'll kill you. And it's just like, Crocodile, why are you doing this? You used to be a warlord. No, I don't fucking know. I'm just doing this because. Which I still find it so funny that people pointed out that he starts helping after the Monkey D. Dragon reveal. That's still the funniest thing ever.
It
You
is
know why I
interesting.
say that?
Because of your theory that
Not my theory, because of fan theories that he is the mother of Luffy.
it was transformed into a man thanks to Ivankov. But yeah,
think of that theory?
Stupid.
thank you.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid, but it makes me laugh.
But what happens at the same time that all of this is happening? The Blackbeard Pirates,
Yep.
which has the same number of crewmates as Luffy. But from Impel Down, Blackbeard, who he went in and got out as many of the worst people as possible, the survivors of all of the people that he said, hey, kill each other, and I'll take the winner.
Yep.
And he got like this whole group of people with him. Now he's up to 10, I think it is.
Yeah, it's about 10.
So he has 10 pirates with him, and he full on just goes after Whitebeard. And what do we get? Whitebeard's decree to the whole world that Buggy the Clown's snail is able to record and broadcast to the entire world. The One Piece!
I was gonna say, just like the whole build up to that is so good. Where he's just like, Teach, you're not the man that Gold Roger was waiting for. You're not the man that Roger was waiting for. And he's just like, what are you talking about? It's just like, and he starts going off on this whole thing of how basically the history of the world will prevail over what you Marines have done. Like,
The truth of the world, yeah.
the truth of the world will be revealed, and it will be when that treasure comes to light. And he has a flash to Roger when they were younger, way before Roger had died. Them having some sake, as Roger says, like, yeah, no, you wouldn't believe it. They're calling me the king of the pirates. Isn't that cool? And he goes like, he starts talking about all this different stuff. He starts mentioning, oh yeah, no, I got that treasure of mine. Do you want to know where it is? I don't care where it is, man. It's just Whitebeard. I don't care, honestly. I
Don't
have
need
my
that.
treasure. I had what I wanted.
Family.
Yeah, we get his flashback to
When Whitebeard was like first starting out and got his his crew, like his captain got like this first like giant thing of gold, and was just like, "Hey, Whitebeard, you want some of this?" And he just goes, "Nah." And they're just like, "What are you aiming for with you starting out as a pirate? What are you going for?" And he
my
just
entire
goes,
life, all I've wanted is one thing:
"Family,
a family.
family."
And we get Gold Roger in that moment. He goes like, okay, hey, by the way, can I tell you the truth? You see my wanted poster? They got my name wrong. What do you mean? I thought your name was Gold Roger. No, it's Gold D. Roger. Oh, that's weird. I actually got somebody on my crew kind of named that, Marshall D. Teach. And he goes like, hey, what's up with that? What's up with the letter D in the name? It's like, oh, you want to know? Here, I can tell you.
And
it
we don't
fades
get
away.
to know.
We do not get to know.
We
I'm
don't
so
get to
sad.
know. I'm mad.
But what we do get is Whitebeard. He begins to flash to all his family, and he says like, the moment we see that the world reveals that treasure is the moment that you're most scared of, Sengoku. And he's like, don't you fucking dare.
Don't you reveal to the world that the One Piece is real? Shit! The One Piece! Give us Jinsu. Give it. Do it. Do it.
What?
Say it.
Say what?
One Piece is real.
No.
Say it.
What am I, a soundboard to you guys?
Yes, actually. Mainly so you so that way that
That's it. I'm going to put on the bad video.
no.
I was gonna say, I just press a button, suddenly you just make a weird noise.
Fuck you.
This entire time, it turns out you have been a soundboard. You just didn't know.
Wake up. Wake up.
Wake up! You're a soundboard.
Where the One Piece! The One Piece is real!
See, that sounded better.
Yeah, and it's just that moment where he yells out, and everybody hears, and that's the moment that reignited the pirate era.
That is the moment that
It refueled it.
reassuring that we get from the pirate era that started from Gold Roger saying the One Piece is out there. That's all he said was just it's out there. And Whitebeard confirming it. And that just full on just ignites everybody to just go nuts again. The pirates are back. And the
I
entire
love
time
Blackbeard's moment there, where
And-
he looks up to Whitebeard and starts laughing, just like, "Damn, old man, what stellar last words!" And he dies on his feet. He dies standing up as the narrator begins to describe hundreds of bullets, hundreds of stab wounds, so many cannon shots to the chest, half his face missing because of the fact that Akainu burned it off, and yet not a single scratch on his back.
on his back. He wasn't a coward. Whitebeard was never a coward.
No one can ever tell you that Whitebeard was a coward.
And there was also a thing with Luffy when he got pulled away from Akainu's lava and Ace's body, that some of Akainu's magma burns Luffy's chest so bad that he's gonna have a
Yeah,
scar.
a moment where Jinbei was in the air and was trying to avoid Akainu, and Akainu rolls up, punches Jinbei through the heart,
Yeah, he punches Jinbei this
and
time.
then gets in that moment with Jinbei, punches him through the heart, and the blast goes through Luffy as well, burning his chest
Yeah.
and creating the scar that he is most famous for later on. Holy shit!
Insane. Absolutely insane.
By the way, I got to see a video just yesterday that made me laugh, where it was about the deaths when it comes to Whitebeard's crew.
Yeah.
Of you see Ace go to heaven, and it's just like, wow, I'm finally here. I get to see all my brothers. Oh, this is gonna be so cool. And all of them over a daddy joke. It's like, what? What are you talking about? He dishonored Pops. Over a daddy joke, we wasted our lives to save your ass.
And here you are, bitch.
Here you are. And he's just like, what are you talking about? It's fine, it's fine. And then another guy starts rolling up. Here, let's see about this. And come on, lay off him. And it's Gold Roger. Over a daddy joke. And he's just like, oh, come on, old man.
And then Whitebeard shows up.
That's the thing. It goes like, come on. I'm sure Whitebeard would have been fine with it. I'm sure he wouldn't have been too upset. And then Whitebeard pops up behind. He goes, I'm glad that at least Pops is still alive. Over a daddy joke.
No, we are not letting you live this down.
Yeah. And in order to get Luffy and Jinbei out of there, who shows up but Law? Trafalgar Law.
Yeah.
In his submarine. And he shows up, the doctors, they show up, and they're just like, yep, you're coming with us. We're making sure you stay alive. I want the most qualified rival to stay alive. Couldn't care less about Kid.
Kid somewhere out in the distance. I'm doing shit.
He's on a barrel in the middle of the ocean. I'm doing shit.
My magnetic powers will get me there. Wherever I'm going.
Watch, what I'll do is I'll just feel a bolt somewhere in Laugh Tale and just just imagine just a barrel going at light speed over to One Piece.
I just had an awesome thought.
Yeah.
The War of the Supernovas over the One Piece. What does Kid do? Use the One Piece.
I would love that. Holy shit.
You need
Just
a magnet?
turns the One Piece into a giant weapon.
like a giant mech robot thing that he uses.
That'd be awesome.
That's gonna happen. That's absolutely gonna
Oh,
happen.
I'd love that.
But so yeah, Whitebeard's dead, and for some reason the Blackbeard pirates are
Get me my comfort blanket.
they throw a blanket over Whitebeard, his body, and Blackbeard goes underneath, and something happens.
So to tell you the secret of what happened under
13 inches.
So yeah, we get like this whole mysterious moment of just like, what the hell is happening?
And the Marines are just like, Blackbeard, get out of there! Come on, man.
Okay, pops out, throws out his shadow. Time to kill some Marines. And it's like, oh great, he's betrayed us too. Okay, let's handle this. Hey guys, recognize this? As he raises his hand to the sky. What he about to do?
Why is he doing that? It's weird.
Boom! And he uses Whitebeard's powers.
As it's revealed that Blackbeard has stolen Whitebeard's devil fruit and is able to use it.
To reveal the truth to you of what happened under that blanket. He went under that blanket, he tickled Whitebeard, and he coughed up the fruit. No, my favorite is there's a meme out there where it's like just like what happened truly under there, and he pops up. Hey, Pops, they think you're dead. Oh shit, right? Okay, here you go. Take it.
Here's your fruit.
He just hands him a fruit. It's like that definitely didn't happen, but okay.
That would be a twist. That Whitebeard is just like, I want Blackbeard to supersede me, so I'll pretend that he kills me.
That'd be an awful twist, but it would be a twist.
That would be terrible.
That would be a horrifying.
That would be shit writing.
Would it be?
The idea that Whitebeard was like for Blackbeard this entire time, it
It just wouldn't line up with what he's been built up to be.
exactly.
Yeah. It could have happened. It could have happened.
That can work, and that can work really well because it's been built up the other way. But you have to like do it really well, and you have to like leave hints.
Well, I knew that you knew that I knew that you knew. It can't. Like they couldn't do that. Like that would be too convenient.
Final bits of Marineford.
And who shows up?
No, I gotta build up to it because I know what you're about to say. I know exactly what you're about to say because it was the moment you freaked out.
What if Whitebeard lived on through Blackbeard as like one of his personalities?
Ooh.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
But basically,
Build up.
so
to
we
it.
got this whole setup of now Blackbeard. He's fighting Sengoku, considering he's got
He's
he's got two of the most powerful fruits, going up against another one of the most powerful fruits now. And mind you, Sengoku is not weak. He rolled up and he is just destroying Blackbeard. And meanwhile, you got Akainu still making his way, trying to kill Luffy. Luffy escapes with Law in his submarine. And then you have a moment where Kobe shows up, trying to stop Akainu from killing some folk, like some Whitebeard crew members.
Yeah.
And he goes like, the war is over. Ace, Portgas the Ace is dead. There's no reason for us to continue. Sounds like coward talk. Can't have cowards around here. And he goes ready to kill Kobe.
Yeah. But lo and behold, who saves Kobe's ass? None other than Red Hair Shanks. Red Hair Shanks shows up and ends the war
The funniest part about it, though, I will say this.
by pulling out his 14 inches.
The thing that made me laugh the most was you, in that moment, made the joke of like seeing that Kobe's about to die, you go, and then Shanks rolled up and saved him. And then Shanks rolled up and saved him. And you lost it laughing to the point that I had to rewind for anything Shanks said.
Yeah, that was the one of those times that I accurately predict something.
You borrowed my power for the day.
It was so like Ace's death just like that was like the perfect like stepping off moment of just Shanks is just like, oh shit, god damn it. He shows up and is just full on like, everybody stop, go, and we're done here. Let's bury the dead, we're done.
And if you want to keep fighting, we'll be your opponents.
Yeah.
And he points out his crew, which we had a really cool moment where it was Kizaru was getting ready to kill somebody. And it's like, oh, I can easily handle this. And then he hears a gun cock, and he turns over and sees Ben Beckman as the second in charge of the Red Hair Pirates. As he just looks over like, okay, want to continue this? And he goes,
All right.
shit, all right. And he has this stupid look on his face as he puts his hand in the ears. All right.
All right.
And then the war ends.
Literally, just Shanks just goes, "Everybody stop, we're done," and everybody's like, "Oh, okay." What did you, Jinsu? What do you think about Shanks just showing up and just showing his schwang to end the war?
It
How do you feel about that 14-inch?
There's no other way he could have ended the war otherwise.
totally threw a wrench in my train of thought.
Everybody, lower your heads, because I'm about to turn to the left, and I don't want to smack you with my dick.
You all better duck.
Because Lucky Roo is gonna kill you.
I think it's kind of weird. It definitely brings up a little bit more questions because it's like, okay, Shanks just showed up and said, "Stop, don't
do
Yeah.
don't stop it." And they're
What?
like, "Oh, okay,
You got us.
okay." Shanks said so. Fuck.
I like it. It feels weird, but I also still like the way that they've built up Shanks as a character, because the way they show off Shanks at all times is like with reverence, with the way they show him off.
That's why when you said earlier that, like, what if Shanks is actually revealed to be the son of the kid of a celestial dragon, it
Yeah.
makes the most sense, because the way that he just shows up and everybody just listens.
Yeah, there are other ideas that like he would be like one of the final bosses for Luffy.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. I was like, what if Shanks is like a secret villain? He's a secret villain. He's like, sorry, Luffy.
He made his own his own rival.
Yeah, he was like, well, Luffy, if you
What
want
do you
this
think,
shit, you got to go through me,
You gotta go through me. That'll probably
the most powerful conquerors hockey guys.
I think what would happen is that, like, it would be Luffy and Shanks finally take down Blackbeard, and then Shanks at the very end. Well, Luffy, it's you and me, but there can be only one king of the pirates. I think that's what they would do.
Do you think?
What if Shanks?
Holy shit! Do you imagine? Can you imagine the image of he ends up fighting Shanks, beating him, and then just dropping his hat on him?
Keep the change, motherfucker.
It's just I don't need it anymore.
Yeah, I've outgrown it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting a call from potential spam. Let's see. Hello? Hello? No. No. You should probably remove my number.
Definitely. Do you know anything about
what are those people trying
this
to
property?
I don't know.
No.
Why do they
Remove my
want to
number.
know something about me?
I love that though. You should probably remove my number. Definitely.
I wonder if it got picked up on the recording.
do? We'll see.
I'll probably, like, if I can hear, like, the definitely, I'll probably, like, turn up the volume on it. So
Turn it
it's
into a
just, so it's the
soundbite.
only thing that I hear is that is to be heard is just that definitely.
Yeah, just turn it into a soundbite.
Definitely.
So we get the end of the war, and we get now the chill point of the post-war. Some major things to mention. We obviously get where does Luffy get taken to help out? Because he's dying. We need somewhere to land where he can be taken care of properly. Where do we take him? Amazon Lily.
Amazon Lily, because Boa Hancock definitely left at the same time to make sure that Luffy doesn't die. The man that she loves doesn't die.
Yep. And meanwhile, back at Marineford, stuff that's happening includes just everybody calming down and just realizing, like, Jesus Christ,
And Shanks being, and like
the
then
world is changing forever.
yeah, and we go to like another island somewhere else, and Shanks is the one that buries Whitebeard and Ace, and they bury them next. He buries them next to each other, and it's just this whole like moment. And Luffy does wake up on Amazon Lily, but like it's a whole like back and forth, like we don't allow men on the island, and it's like back and forth. Monkey D. Luffy was the exception. Yeah.
I'm gonna pop something up in this moment. I'm gonna pop up something of because we're at now this point. I want to pop up the cover stories that I've mentioned before.
I will say I will do like a rapid fire thing for this next like little area, so that because it's not too important. Like the cover stories that you're about to bring up, like this happens before that, where Luffy is like he's going through the most traumatic thing. Like he's trying to get over the fact that his brother's dead now, and it cuts back to when they first met, when they were kids. It was Ace and his friend Sabo. Is it Sabo or Sato? I can't remember.
Oh, Sabo.
Sabo, yeah, Sabo. And Luffy basically being brought to the same island and by Garp to be taken care of and raised. And it's they have good times. It shows like their struggle of becoming like the good brothers that they are. And basically Sabo was like, he's a rebellious kid. But yeah, like Sabo is like this rebellious kid that was like, he has like really rich parents and all that kind of stuff and has status and all that kind of stuff, and he doesn't want any of it. And him, Ace, and Luffy, they're all talking about like, yeah, when you turn 17, that's when you're supposed to go out and be a pirate and all that kind of stuff. Like, that's when you go. And a celestial dragon goes to like visit their island. And the officials on the island, in order to get rid of all of the trash on the island, they burn it. The problem is that people were living in the trash because that's how twisted the island was. And so a lot of people die and all that, and Luffy and Ace's surrogate mom almost dies. It's a bunch of crazy stuff. And when it's finally all resolved, Sabo is going out on the same day the Celestial Dragon's coming in. And the Celestial Dragon just sees Sabo's little boat, sees a little kid on a boat, and blows him up. Kills him.
Yep.
Because, oh, that is disgusting. Oh, my God. What the fuck is that? Yeah, just kills him. Just straight out kills him. And, yeah, that definitely messes with... That definitely messes with Ace and Luffy. And what does Ace do when he turns 17? He sets out. And he tells Luffy, you go and when you turn 17, you'll do the same thing, and you also decree what you're going to do when you go. And what does Luffy do when he sets off? He shouts, I'm going to be king of the pirates.
Yeah, just like the first chapter.
I'm going to be the king of pot. Oh, I mean the king of pop.
What? But, and then, so we get a quick cut with, so Luffy finally, he cuts back to Luffy when he's messed up, and with Jinbei, and he's trying to not cry his eyes out, but it's not working. He gets walked up to by Silver's Rayleigh. As Silver's Rayleigh is just like, you know what, Luffy, here's a chance. I'm gonna go teach you. I'm gonna teach you about hockey, but it's gonna take a while. So, is there anything you gotta take care of first? Because it's gotta be just you and me on this island. Like, there's gotta be no one else. And he's just like, shit, we got like 2 days until like we meet up when all the other Straw Hats are supposed to meet up. Shit, what are we supposed to do? And then they get the idea. They go back to Marineford, and Luffy does like a whole like bouquet of flowers, like reverence, memorial, respect thing at Marineford. He rings the bell. There's a bunch of press there and all that kind of stuff. And he shows respect for everybody who died at the battle. And on his arm, when the press people are taking pictures of him, and it showed to all the Straw Hats see it. And they see that Luffy has on his arm a coded message that it's 4 symbols. Number 2, the letter D, those are crossed out. And then the number, it's 3 days. Sorry, it was 3 days. So the number 3 and then D for days, they're crossed out. And the 2 symbols not crossed out is 2 and Y for years. And that's an instant message to all of the Straw Hat Pirates. We're not meeting in 3 days on Sabaody. We're meeting in 2 years.
Yeah.
And Duke, you said that you're bringing up what all the Straw Hats are going to be doing.
Okay, so Straw Hats, I won't mention what they're doing. I was gonna mention. So now that we've got the whole 2-year thing, we've got the training. So basically, to set up what they're supposed to be doing is Usopp will be training alongside a name by the name of Heracles.
Heracles, the Beetle Knight man.
I love this man. He is precious. Protect him at all cost. And so he'll be training as a sniper under him. That'll be cool. We got
losing weight.
Nami will be learning about weather science from Witheria, which is a sky island.
Robin
has joined the revolutionaries and is hot as hell.
and it's nice. Frankie's face has burned off.
And he's going to be working on his cybernetic technology based off of Vegapunk's research.
Which is a big character that we learn about later on.
Yeah, well, we've heard about him at least.
That he's a very important character.
Yeah, we've heard he's very important.
Chopper,
Meanwhile, is on an island full of birds and cavemen, basically.
And learns that the cavemen have the Library of Alexandria with them.
Yeah, so now he's learning medicine from them, as he has brought peace to their land.
And Brooke is going and performing.
And seeing so many panties.
Men's panties!
A lot of men's panties. Now for the big two, obviously, of you got Sanji and you've got Zoro. For Sanji, I can't mention most of what he does.
Just basically, he ends up on Ivankov's island, and Ivankov comes back and goes, "Huh, you seem pretty strong. Are you actually a friend of Luffy's?" And he goes, "Yes!" And he just goes, well, you're gonna have to beat me if you want to leave.
You have to beat me if you want to learn my techniques to become stronger.
I'll take that challenge.
And Jesus Christ, what's the challenge? Don't have a dress put on you.
Yeah, that is absolutely what Sanji's that is exactly what Sanji needs to not do.
In order to understand, like a small bit of like the reason why I won't mention it, because I feel like if I mention it, I just get in trouble on YouTube.
Yeah.
Of basically, Ivankov is based off of
The Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Rocky Horror Picture Show. Tim Curry's character, who was a person in drag. That's the entire island.
That's the theme of the entire island. And Ivankov is the queen of queens, no matter how much he says otherwise.
So Zoro
is having the best time, while also not having the best time. He gets
to be with Perona, the best time. He gets to be with Mihawk, the worst time.
It turns out, like, he's been trying to get back to Luffy the entire time, and then Mihawk just shows up and is just like,
"This is my island. Why are you
in
here?
my home?"
That was funny, though. Just, "This is my island. Why are you here?"
"This is my brooding island." And Perona's just like, "This is the place that I wanted to go to, and Kuma sent me here. I'm stuck. Please don't leave."
Yes.
So the entire Straw Hats get 2 years before they meet back up on Saba Ori.
Yeah.
And this is the time skip.
Yep.
This is the moment that I've been waiting for.
Luffy has his whole thing of what's he doing for 2 years? He's learning hockey.
From Silver's Rayleigh.
Yeah, so you got Zoro learning from Mihawk and Luffy learning from
Silver's Rayleigh.
Rayleigh. This is so cool.
It's definitely, I was not expect, like, I knew the time skip was going to happen, because it was like it was the whole, like, I knew, like, somewhere in the halfway point we get a time skip. But then it happening right at the end of the war.
You know the best part about that?
What?
You asked me 10 episodes before.
Yeah, 10 episodes before, and I was just like, what is this time? This seemed to be setting up to...
I want to mention this.
Introducing the time skip. When's it going to happen? 10 episodes from now.
I forgot. I really want to mention this, by the way. Just a few minor details from a little earlier when it came to that flashback of Ace and Luffy as kids.
Yeah.
A couple of little neat details that were in that, of course, included stuff like, "Ooh, why are you looking at me like that?"
Because you're talking.
Oh,
and he doesn't like that.
But one of the minor details obviously got Dadan, who is essentially like the mother figure of Luffy and his brothers.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. You had it seems to be the case that Monkey D. Dragon is the one to have like he initially saved Sabo from from basically being beaten to death in a corner of the city.
Yeah.
And there's a possibility that he probably grabbed up Sabo at some point.
So, like, the Celestial Dragon blew up Sabo. But we know that Dragon and the other revolutionaries do a thing called
Protecting
subvert
people who are attacked by Celestial Dragons.
and do the impossible. So there's very much a chance that Sabo could be alive. We just haven't seen him alive.
Yeah, we haven't seen him alive yet, yeah.
Mainly because we don't... Because the pirates don't affiliate with revolutionaries.
We got that. We also got I thought it was a cool touch that when they landed to prepare basically equipment and stuff, the island they land on is the island that Zoro was raised on.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was a really cool touch. And so we get basically that whole connection even further to Zoro and Luffy. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
And last little thing was the whole thing with Dadan, where when she saw Garp come to Fuchsia Village, she punched him straight in the face.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
how dare you make me raise those boys if he was just gonna die? How dare you make me raise Ace as if he was my own? If you knew this was gonna happen.
Yeah, Garp goes back to their main island is where they started after Ace died. And of course the mother figure's not gonna be happy.
This made me so happy. Dan is
What?
a
What?
great character.
Oh, okay. That was a quick 180 of a statement.
What?
Just me being like, ah, and you going, this is my favorite, and I'm just like, huh?
No, this is a great moment for Dan, just
Yeah.
showing how great of a character she is.
Yeah.
Her entire arc of being frustrated with the boys, but then eventually becoming their true mother figure. And Luffy has every one of them leaving to Dan to go off on their adventure was great. Of Ace leaving and just he didn't say bye to them, and so she's like, yeah, why should I care about that dumbass? He'd probably just make a joke about me being old. And he said, he had a letter said, thank you for everything you did for me, to Dan.
Why did it make me cry?
And then there was Luffy, who he goes off to say bye, later, guys. Oh, by the way, I still don't like mountain bandits. You guys suck. And she's like, get out of here. But you guys are awesome.
Why did you make me cry? That was definitely what was needed for her, because
So-
at first she was not as fun of a character, but then by the end she was a fun character. But yeah, so that was the Marineford arc. We're not adding anything else because it's already been a long time and I don't want to make it go anymore.
Got it. I'll mention cover stories next time.
Next time, yes, we will not bring it up this
It'll
time
probably be
because-
for the next episode of One Piece.
Probably.
Actually, what I'd probably end up doing is just have an in-between. No, it'll be for the next one.
and talk about as many in betweens as possible. But for right now, the characters. Jinsu, what was a character that, from what you've seen in Marineford, what was a character that you saw and you went,
Who was the MVP of this arc? MVP.
well, new character. Like, I would definitely say Marco.
I was gonna say Marco, but then you said fucking Marco.
But
So now,
no, I was
Great, you took my answer. Now I had to kill you.
now I can't add anything
Now,
to that. Now
my
I can't
answer
build
is-
off of your words.
Why do you like Marco?
so now.
Why
my
do you
answer
like
is-
him?
So now my answer is,
The Celestial
fuck,
Dragon.
what was his name again?
The Celestial.
Ors Junior.
Ors Jr. My favorite character was definitely the Celestial Dragon that killed Sabo.
What the fuck is that?
Want to know my favorite new
Is
character?
that a poor person?
Ew.
I was gonna say, want to know my favorite new character?
What?
Ace's Ghost.
Oh yeah, that is definitely a new character.
That's definitely a new character.
Spicy flavored donuts.
You know another great new character? Whitebeard's Ghost.
Whitebeard goes.
You know another great new character? That one Marine who dies Ghost.
Colby.
Just my favorite character is all the Ghost.
I'm
I'm glad he joined the crew.
I like the part. Where black but no beard. Got
black but no beard. That's a perfect name for him.
took white but no beard's power.
White but mustaches.
White but mustache.
Did I mention to you the reason why?
Doflamingo.
Huh? Oh no, I know. Doflamingo's the my favorite character, honestly, when it comes to this. Like his presence every time you feel it, it's so good. I was gonna say though, have I mentioned the whole reason why is Whitebeard and Blackbeard? Like the reason why their names are like that
Well, Whitebeard. Well, Blackbeard
without
is
a beard?
That's the joke.
Well, also because the fact their names in Japanese, I believe. I
Oh,
believe Whitebeard's name is Shirohige or something like that.
Isn't it interchangeable? Like it's not so much
Whiskers.
It doesn't directly mean beard.
Yeah.
It more of means
facial hair. Yeah. So, yeah, but you're not going to want to see Blackbeard pop up and it's like, hi, it's me, black facial hair.
It's me, black facial hair, and there's my rival, white facial hair.
That just sounds weird.
It's I, Dark Stubble, and
Dark
my
Stu-
arch nemesis,
White mustache.
Pale stubble.
Moon Man,
Moon Man. Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
What if One Piece, but Moon Knight?
But no, generally, like, there's plenty of characters that pop up in this arc and have great moments for me. Obviously, I love just everything to do with Ace and Luffy's characters in this arc.
Yeah.
When it came to main Marineford, Whitebeard was the MVP for me. Of like everything with Whitebeard was stellar.
What about when he died?
Everything with Whitebeard was stellar. Yes, because he had the coolest death.
There you go.
But no, then when it came to even that little like mini arc for just the brothers,
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, the past.
Dadan had my favorite moments of that. Like Dadan being a mother figure, like that tough old lady that doesn't want to grow connected to these kids, but is obviously going to grow connected to these kids, was my favorite bit of it. And then finally we have that little post arc of just
All the
Rayleigh was the
characters.
best of Rayleigh and Jinbei were tied for best of that because of their whole thing of just helping out Luffy to recover from his trauma and like going with him to Marineford and preventing any Marine from touching him.
Yeah. And then that's what I got to say about this whole thing is that this is where all of the characters that everybody's always talked about and you met and were like they were awesome, and now all of a sudden here they all are meeting each other, and here's all of their dynamics. Here's Crocodile getting working with Luffy but not wanting to work with Whitebeard, almost killing Whitebeard, but then working together and all that kind of stuff. Here's Doflamingo. And here's Boa Hancock, here's Mihawk, here's all of these characters.
Here's Boa Hancock again.
Here's Gecko Moria getting face planted again.
Oh yeah, we forgot to mention that Gecko Moria.
I don't want to refer to Gecko Moria.
Oh, you don't want to refer to his possible death?
Possible death, yeah, he probably died.
Doflamingo pops up and says he's working with somebody higher up, basically, and is meant to execute Gecko Moria.
Yeah, so hopefully no more Gecko Moria.
But that episode where we got to see that was honestly really fun because we got to see also the fact that the supernovas have all made their way to the New World.
And Luffy's
all of them.
And Luffy hasn't yet, but here's everybody else in
We
the
also
Straw Hats.
don't forget the reunion we all waited for of Buggy and his crew.
Buggy and his crew, yeah, they had a reunion
They
too.
had a reunion, and he also got a letter from the world government
saying, "We know what you are.
we know about you, we know your deal, and so we have this thing to say to you." And it's like, what did they say to him? What did they say to him?
But yeah, so we get all of the Straw Hats. They're all
You're
get-
now one of us. Shut up! You're a celestial dragon.
We're getting so all of the Straw Hats. They're all working together. And
Buggy
they're
becomes
just-
Fleet Admiral. Shut up! Wait, no. Buggy becomes Fleet Admiral.
No.
Anyways,
So all of the Straw Hats, they're all getting stronger to finally cross over to the New World and finally get over there to the other half of One Piece. But first, 2 years have got to pass. I gotta say, one thing I gotta say about all of this. This is like one of those like it's like where's the next season? Oh, there is no next season. Like that sort of thing with like lesser known animes that like wow, this one's a real sleeper hit and all that kind of stuff. Man, when's the next season coming out? It's not getting a next season. Shit! This is exactly where I would imagine it being.
Yeah.
And like that in my mind, like the amount of time that we've had been away from One Piece, when we finally get back, there's going to be a lot of like reminding stuff that I'm actually going to need. And that's going to be the funniest part, is that I'm actually going to need it for how long we've been away from it, because it's been like months
Yeah.
since we saw this.
I'm so happy to go back. I'm
And-
so happy.
We return 2 years later. What's something I can look forward to, Duke and Jitsu?
The return to Sabaody. And also the great new looks of Nami and Robin.
Oh yes, Jinzu. Is that something worth celebrating?
boobs.
Oh, so I was gonna say, do you like long hair on a girl?
Yeah.
Nami grew out her hair
Yay!
like quite a bit.
She also grew out her boobs.
Hell yeah!
Oh hell yes, you did!
Don't forget, everybody, we need you to subscribe, because why not? And we'll catch you all next time with the next arc of One Piece, named
Return to Sabaody and Fishman Island.
Fishman Island. And we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye! You have anything to add, Jinsu?
No.
All right.
If you want to see more of our content, you can find our YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter on our linktree at linktree/greenvillains. That's linktr.ee/greenvillains.